But don't play with me, 'cause you're playing with fire.
Hello, this is Gina from Haunted Flower, and this weekend I saw Daybreakers. Daybreakers was written and directed by Michael and Peter Spierig and stars Ethan Hawke, Willem DaFoe, Claudia Karvan, and Sam Neill. In the year 2019, there is a plague that turns almost all the human population into vampires. All the humans go into hiding, and there's a dwindling blood supply, so they have to figure out what to do. The vampires either need to find a blood substitute or a cure to vampirism. You can guess what their preference for most vamps is going to be. They kind of like the blood thing now, so they'd rather not change their lifestyle because, heck, they're immortal. You've got a handful of humans, and you've got a big population of vampires, and you also have this third species, which is a mutated, regressed form of vamps that happens when vamps don't get enough blood. And this growing population is freaking everybody else out. Ethan Hawke plays Edward Dalton, a scientist working for what is pretty much a big blood bank. And he's looking for a cure, more likely a blood substitute, since the vamps are actually going to run out of blood within a month's time. Best way to describe the character of Edward Dalton is depressed. He was turned against his will, so he decides to bummer out the rest of us who are watching the movie. Come on. He's kind of that guy who, if you're having a party, maybe you don't invite that guy because he's going to bring everybody else down. It's really hard to get on board with and root for a character who you just don't even like hanging out with. He's really low energy, pretty timid most of the film, and I just don't ever get the sense that Ethan Hawke believes in this film. Can you say punch in the clock? I think you can. On the other hand, there's Willem DaFoe. Willem DaFoe plays this character who likes to be called Elvis, and he used to be a vampire, but accidentally found the cure and became human again. Elvis enlists Dalton as a sympathetic vamp to help the underground humans and find a way to replicate the cure and save humanity. Willem DaFoe is probably the best thing about this movie. He's a great character actor. He always finds ways to find his characters weird, oddly quirky line delivery. He clearly thinks about each of his lines in this movie before he delivers them so that they can sound really epic, like he's the sage for his generation, the first vampire cured back to human. It's really night and day between Willem DaFoe and Ethan Hawke. One's all energy and spirit, and the other one's, oh, I'm sad. There's also a brief appearance by Isabel Lucas, who you might remember as hot Decepticon girl in Transformers 2 Revenge of the Fallen. She's the daughter of the big bad blood bank owner Charles Bromley, played by Sam Neill. Isn't hot in this one. Sorry. Going to this movie, I thought that the premise was really interesting, but it was not well executed. Particularly the ending is pretty bad. I'm sure that this movie made a really great pitch, and they started writing, they're all excited, but there's clearly a point in the film where they ran out of gas creatively. It's like a light switch turning off. Now the movie is pretty much over. We tried to logic out the rest of how it would go, but drive home safe, folks. It's very disappointing. However, if you're not worried about it making sense and don't mind just being entertained by effects, this movie has a lot of effects. Vampires catching on fire when being exposed to UV rays, there's head explosions, blood being sprayed everywhere, and actual severed limbs flying around in slow motion. You should probably watch this movie intoxicated with a big group of friends so you can all laugh at it collectively. The effects are so that you kind of know that they had to have meant it comedically, right? I hope, right? I mean, they knew it was a joke because if I can give this movie props for something, it would be that the vampires didn't sparkle.
Visit us at hauntedflower.com for fantastic apparel, action figures, and collectibles. We have all your nerdy needs. Also, you can Google Haunted Flower to find our MySpace profile, Facebook fan page, and Rotten Tomatoes reviews. If you're local to the Indianapolis area, visit indiemojo.com for details on how you can win free screening passes.
I think I'm still gonna pretty much prefer True Blood in the future where humans and vampires are coexisting. At least they didn't sparkle.
Back up your mind, there is a call. Here's it